Hey guys, welcome to numerologist.com. It's me, Vannessa from Beyond Your Sun Sign. This is your March general energy reading for 2021. Let's get started. Okay, so this works a little bit different than the weekly pick-a-cards. I'm not going to ask you to pick a number. What I'm going to do is ask you to relax and recognize that this is general energy. So this is energy that you can utilize or you can just completely forget about, but it is more of a use it or lose it type reading, okay? So free will is paramount. You have the choice to bring this energy in. You can also choose to go a different route to kind of pick and choose like a buffet what you want to bring with you for this March 2021. Okay, so something is absolutely shifting. Generally, this year is all about huge shifts, like things just not feeling the same and the recognition that things are never going to be the same. So things are changing, not so much endings or new beginnings, but a change, things just not being as they were before, as we felt comfortable with. The Wheel of Fortune is the best card to symbolize change because it's not that tower moment, which, you know, everybody is so terrified of, me included. But the Wheel of Fortune is saying, yeah, we have tower moments, but it's more so as if it's a stroke of luck, right? So when you think about the show Wheel of Fortune, the main thing is that huge wheel that we are in control of spinning it, but where it lands is totally up to the universe. All we can do is kind of hope and pray and cross our fingers and manifest that it's going to be landing on that dollar amount, right? So this month, March 2021, is all about swinging that Wheel of Fortune and just manifesting and anticipating that you're going to win that dollar amount and you are going to move on to the showcase, right? So another two cards that popped out that are in your subconscious were the Emperor card, which was over top of the King of Swords. So the main shift that's happening is within your authority at home. There is a masculine air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, that is influencing your ability to feel empowered, and I feel like you have a sense of authority at home, especially within your family. So this person, whether it's just, you know, that grandfather in spirit who was taking care of the family, now he's kind of superimposing his energy onto you to give you that empowerment that you need in order to make positive changes within your life and therefore feel that sense of authority within your home and family. A couple more cards popped out as I was shuffling, tapping into the March energy for you, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is definitely some anxiety, some lack of peace, some worries, and some grief as well, right? So if you find that things are not necessarily going in your favor when it comes to this shift, the Wheel of Fortune, it's actually for the best. So just to bring it back to the Wheel of Fortune analogy, the people that don't go on to the showcase, right? Like they're still living with their prizes, right? They still, first of all, had an amazing experience. They got to meet Bob, you know, they came on down, like things like that are still fun. They're still part of the trip. Yeah, I didn't move on and win the showcase, but at least I have all of this to show for it. And I even have a tape of my experience to show the grandkids. So if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious when it comes to these changes, try and absolutely find, and I hate to say it, the cliche, try and find the silver lining because it is literally always there. And if you're actively searching for it, the universe is going to reveal more and more things that end up being a positive experience from that. Oh, okay, well, I know things are changing in my life. I have a new job, or, you know, things at home have shifted. But, you know, as much as it looks stressful right now, at least I have this. At least I have a job. At least I have a home. At least I have family, right? Really trying to find that silver lining because the Nine of Swords, swords represent our thoughts. So it's not even actually reality right now. It's just our worries that are going crazy saying, oh, but, you know, this change, how am I going to deal with it? How am I going to, you know, do this, do that? It's such a huge change. I feel completely out of control, right? But actually our minds are the only things that we lack control over. If you're just changing your thought process when it comes to it and realizing that changes are a good thing. When you change, it means that you're not dead, right? Like you're growing and you're living and you're moving on. there were quite a few cards that popped out face down over top of that. So when cards pop out face down over the cards that are already in your subconscious, this is deeply, deeply rooted. So this information here is something that you may not even be subconsciously aware of. That's how deeply ingrained it is into your subconscious, okay? And that is a time in your past, probably inner child, maybe even your ancestry, so your lineage, when you thought you had to move on, or somebody thought that they had to move on, and that caused a lot of emotional confusion. Even just thinking, I gotta move on, I gotta let go, I have to make this change, as if it's my responsibility. Even just thinking that caused a lot of emotional turmoil, a lot of inner turmoil, based on your reputation. How will people view me then? What will people think if I move on? What will people think if this? That reputation actually brought in a higher awareness of recognizing how much we do rely on the influence of other people in our society as well. Like, we are 100% influenced by our reputation and what people think about us. We try not to, right? And maybe you get to a certain age where you just don't care anymore, but it still influences us, right? Because the image that somebody else has of us in their mind, it has a huge factor on how we end up communicating with them, how they end up communicating with others about us. It influences us. So instead of pushing it aside saying, I don't care what other people think about me, even though it's just not true, like we are, we are all connected, very, very intensely connected. So we care what other people think, regardless if that's a positive or a negative. That reputation did bring in a level of like a higher understanding that we are very much connected, which then brought in a lot of happiness, and therefore the Magician card. So an opportunity to create the lives that we truly wanted. So this is in our subconscious. Like I said, it could happen to you, could have happened to a family member. Family member moved on, it killed their reputation, but they were stronger for it and ended up creating the life that they really needed and wanted. Or this is something that happened to you in the past, or even like in your childhood, where you moved on thinking that you need to move on, and ended up creating a lot of emotional confusion, which then affected your reputation, but it led you to, a lot of happiness and where you're at right now. So this is something that we have to really pay attention to, realizing, okay, as much as the universe now is saying we have to make changes and we have to move on, this takes away from our ability to actively move on. However, as soon as the universe presents it to us, we know that we've now played a part in it. Like, we can't just be observers constantly. So the universe is saying, okay, change is coming, here's the Wheel of Fortune, and we're going to grab it and say, even though in the past it felt like I had to actively be the one to make those changes, now the universe is playing the matchmaker of destiny, tempting me, so I'm going to embrace those changes, because in the past it did end up leading to a really positive outcome, so I can't fear it anymore. Okay, your dreams are definitely going to be talking to you as well, so dream journaling constantly, that'll also give you a sense of authority as well. Dreams are going to be really prevalent just because we are in Pisces season, and Pisces, if you've ever met a Pisces before, they're a walking dream, like just not fully rooted in reality, just kind of like, woo, but it works for them. They're the ones who are winning the lottery and, seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. So now is the time to really be tapping into that Pisces intuitive, dreamy, really romantic energy. Okay, so that is our subconscious. Now we're going to talk about what's going on consciously. And we have some pretty heavy cards here. We have the Six of Pentacles. So the six, once again, talking about our domestic duties. Pentacles representing our power, our money, our values, our self-esteems, our beliefs. Taking that energy and donating it, giving it to others as if it's our responsibility. We've been doing a lot of that all last year, and now we're doing even more of it this year, March being that third month in a 5 universal year. So it's all about expressing your power and really leaning into that power as well, saying, I'm not doing that, I'm putting up my boundaries. Boundaries will 100% be a huge theme. Just to forewarn you, I'm in an 8 personal year, and I'm telling you right now, that 8 energy is no joke. Like, what you think about, what you do, like, it is, the turnover is like instant almost. I'll be thinking one thing, and I'll be writing something, thinking something, and literally, I'm writing last night, writing a name, and as I'm writing the name on the TV, it's saying it. Like, the manifestation is crazy. You have to be diligent this month when it comes to positive thinking, positive affirmations, because the energy that's affecting our ability to give out, to donate, and therefore get back what we put out is all about this Nine of Wands, saying, well, you know, in the past I did give and it ended up screwing me over, so now I'm just going to hold on. I'm just going to hold on. I'm not going to really give out too much. That person doesn't deserve it, or that person doesn't this person doesn't need it. Things like that, where we decide who and what gets what. It messes with the universe, right? The universe is constantly looking for ways to bless and benefit other people through other people, right? Through you, and it works both ways, right? So here you are letting the universe work through you to benefit somebody. Oh, you know what? I have a $5 bill and there's a homeless person right there. I'm just going to give it to them. What am I going to spend this $5 on anyways? You know, it's probably just going to sit in my purse, or it's going to go to a coffee that, you know, I'm already tweaking. So let me just give this to this person who clearly needs it, and I'm not just going to throw them $5 cash. I'm actually going to talk to them. I'm going to smile at them. I'm going to literally manifest positivity into them, make their day, make their week, right? And then the universe is going to totally look at that and be like, okay, this person is down for giving. This person is down for, you know, expressing me through them. So I'm going to continue to bring them positivity in order to share with other people. So keep the cycle flowing, because in the past it was just holding on. Well, I'm not going to do that because they did this, or I'm not going to do that because nobody did it for me. No, we've evolved past that mentality. We've grown, right? So let go. The obstacle in the 8, unfortunately, is the 3 of Swords. So that heartbreak is one of the reasons why, well, I'm not going to do it because this is that. It really just comes down to being brokenhearted and to feeling jaded, right? And turning that jaded energy into being, you know, really skeptical about people, being cynical as well, right? Just because you're brokenhearted doesn't mean that you can't help mend other people's broken hearts, right? So this is the month to give, because everything that we do is coming back times 3, and like literally in 3 seconds. Watch it and test it. Be aware, be diligent. Be like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I was just thinking about this and now somebody is bringing that into my awareness, right? Subconsciously is the Ace of Wands. So subconsciously, we want to start something new. This energy is really positive, really great, a lot of growth. So we're like ready, and it's mainly because we're bored. We're bored at home. We've been bored. we have been bored. So now it's like, okay, new beginning. A lot of the times the new beginning and the change energy gets a little bit confused, gets a little bit intertwined. This is a new beginning within changing energy. So I'm trying to really understand how that can make sense. So something changes, but it also creates the opportunity for a new beginning. So within that energy of change, it's kind of like the tornado coming. Yeah, it's a change, right? It's going to come and change your life. It's going to pick up your house and flip it around and drop it back down. Instead of going and, you know, working with my changed house that just survived a tornado, instead I'm going to buy a new house. So recognizing that there is changeable energy, we're going crazy in that tornado. With that, I'm going to start something new. Wheel of Fortune, you know, the changes that I got on the show, and I don't want to go back to my small hometown. I'm going to stay where we filmed it, and I'm going to stay here and start a new beginning off of the change of just being on the show. Things along those lines, because we are very, very bored. So it is now time to let go and to start to play around, right? Start to have fun. Okay, where can I put energy over here into the universe so that it comes back to, like to me like this, right? This is fun now. Where can I kind of put it here and then see where that comes back? Let's see what else we have here. Family and friends, there's a young earth sign, so a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, that can really help with that donation process. So a lot of the times when it comes to the young people, when we act as if it's kind of like, what was that quote where it was like, be the person your dog thinks you are, right? So this young person, not to call them a dog, but the more we give in front of this young person, the better we feel, and the better we're being a better example for this young person, which then, of course, gives us more people to come into our lives to be that same influence, right? Like, one of the major things I talk to my clients about is the fact that we wish that we had somebody like us when we were younger, right? Somebody who was just saying, you know, who wasn't toxic, who wasn't depressed, who wasn't workaholic, somebody who's just awake and aware, right, and accepting, like, this age of Aquarius energy that we have in our society now. So this young person wants to see the good acts. They need to see it, right? So if that's your only reason for giving that $5 to that homeless person, is so that your little Capricorn child witnesses that giving energy, then that's perfect. That's all that's needed, right? It completely takes you out of that and just does it 100%, not even for the homeless person, but for the model, the influence, because it creates that ripple effect, right? So give and donate in order to show this young earth sign what you wish you could have saw as a child. Because imagine if you were witnessing your parents being really amazing people, knowing that you were watching, right? And they weren't the hypocrites that are saying, hey, don't do what I do as I say, right? Why not just do what's right so I can witness that? Like, I know you're human, but don't be a hypocrite. So we can really take that energy and say, you know what? I want to be a really good example for my daughter, for my kid. I have a responsibility to raise good people. So I'm going to be really the best that I possibly can be in order to be that influence, right? Sometimes that's all that we need, is just pull ourselves out and stop doing it for us, doing it for people that we care about, right? Hope and fear is just that you're going to fall back into those same patterns, those same thought patterns as well. So here we are thinking, okay, let me donate, let me give in order to get, right? But I've gotten before and it wasn't that positive. So we hope for it, but we also fear it as well. So this is just something to just cleanse, to just let go of that, and to recognize that even though our subconscious wants to put things into a box and say, well, if you do this and you do that, you'll get this. Yeah, that's great. And it makes it a lot easier to kind of live our lives and to, drive on autopilot. But if we're going to actively make changes and really embrace these new beginnings coming in, we can't be thinking the same old pattern, right? We have to say, okay, yeah, that happened in the past, but now I'm going to rewrite the script. Now, when I do this and this, it equals this, right? Especially in the past, if you did something that was one of those, the road to hell is paved on good intentions, right? Like, I've heard that quote recently, and I just was like, nope, abort, not allowing that into my programming. That might be your truth. That is not my truth, right? The road to hell is not paved on good intentions. Absolutely not. Okay, so the outcome for the month of March 2021 is new opportunities are right here. This is the shining card. In my opinion, this is the best card to possibly have, mainly because it's that 8 energy and an 8 universal month. It's all about wand, which is energy out. It's positive. It's exactly what we want. It's opportunities. We want all of these opportunities for growth. Opportunities come in to remind you just how bored you are at home. So the opportunities are coming in, but you're still going to be kind of latching on to this bored energy, being like, well, I've gotten used to being bored. Am I really going to go and have fun now? I've kind of, it's been like a year now of boredom. Am I really going to give this all up in order to take on these opportunities? So what you do with that, with the opportunities and the boredom, is you just sit on it. Just wait, pray, meditate, really sit on it. Don't make any sudden moves, because that will be July. July is the new beginnings. This month, it's all about reclaiming your power and really starting to realize how much what you put out comes back in. So you're going to be donating. You're going to be trying to impress this young earth sign with how giving you are. And what that does is the universe is like, okay, here's all your opportunities. And then that's going to blow your mind. Oh my God, I cannot believe how many opportunities are now presenting itself to me. There is a link. There is a connection between how much I've been giving and how much the universe is now feeding that energy back to me. So you're going to need to sit in prayer and meditation so that you're actively honoring what your thoughts and what your actions come back as, right? So you can say, all right, let me be careful here. Let me really reflect and meditate and think about what I want before I just throw everything in and dive in head first. So March, opportunities come. Don't jump on them too quick. Take your time. Really embrace it. Pisces season also is more about, right? It's more about going reflective. It's not so much about doing. It's not a cardinal sign. It's a mutable sign. So it's all about adapting to your surroundings. So you're going to adapt and meld in to these opportunities. Once Aries season starts pumping, that's when, spring's around the corner. That's when you can start to consider making some of these new beginnings within the changes being opportunities arising. Love you guys so much. As always, if you want a personalized reading, you can contact me. My email address is beyondyoursunsign@gmail.com. Or if you're just looking to join a community, I offer a membership portal called the Divine Gang. Get instant access to amazing videos and sessions and a great community. Love you guys so much, and I will see you next month. Bye.